Okay, we are rolling, and welcome to the show here. I'm going to show you a little bit about this Roland's TR-8 drum machine that I've got here. You can see there's 16 different steps. You can also think of them as banks because you can record patterns into them, but they are representing the 16th notes of your rhythm. And so you've got your first, quarter, second, third, and fourth. You can think of this as 16 16th notes. And here's the light flashing, running through the pattern. You'll also see that the number 3 is lit up a different color here. And so we are on pattern select here, pattern select mode. And you can get into this mode simply by clicking the button. And now you can select which pattern you want to select. So there's pattern number 4, here's pattern number 5, and I'll go back to pattern 3. You'll notice there, if you push the button before the end of the bar, the pattern will change at the beginning of a new bar. 4. Oh, there it is right there. Starting there at the end of the last bar, waiting until the new bar to begin the new pattern. Now these buttons can also be used to select your drum kits here. So I'm going to select kit under drum select, and there's also, I'll get to this in a minute, instruments. You can choose different kicks, different snares, different toms, that sort of thing. Let's just go into kit right now, flashing at number 2. This is drum kit number 2, but let's try number 7 for example. And it's the same pattern. You can go back to pattern select. We're on pattern number 3. We go into kit. We're using kit number 7. And there's 16 different kits here you can choose from. But not only that, you can also go into any of these kits, selecting instrument, also in the drum select area. Now, when we're looking at bass drum, see we've got bass drum selected here automatically. And flashing is number 2, so we're hearing the second option in terms of which sort of kick you want to hear. Let's choose number 3. There's a different kick. There's a different kick there. And in fact, fun fact here, number 1 represents the original kick from the old TR-808, and the second kick is taken from the TR-909. So this TR-8 machine is like a re-release of both the TR-808 and the TR-909, and then they're giving you a third option also. Whenever you get a third option, because some instruments have one and some don't, if you get a third instrument option there, then what you're getting is a brand new kick sound from the TR-8 exclusively. So again, kick number 1 from the 808, kick number 2 from the 909, kick number 3, this is a unique kick to the TR-8 itself, which was released in 2014, about 30 years or so after the old machines. And this is a digital instrument, obviously, and unlike the older instruments, which were analog. So here we're selecting the bass drum. I can control the volume of the bass drum. There's these faders up here, so you're not hearing any kick now. And here's me bringing the kick up, clipping a little there, so I'll bring it back down. Let's choose a different snare drum. So we're going to select snare drum. It says SD, BD is bass drum. You've also got low tom, medium tom, high tom, rim shot, hand clap, closed hat, open hat, crash cymbal, and ride cymbal. I'm going to choose a different snare. You see there's only 2 different options, so they haven't created a new snare sound for the TR-8, at least with this drum kit anyways. So let's choose number 2, and there's that kick that you'd hear from an old TR-909. Put it back to this one. They're pretty different sounding, so you can decide which one you want, and so on and so forth. Choose a different closed hi-hat if you want. And how about a crash cymbal? We'll pick this one. Once you've got it the way you like, you don't ever have to save anything with the TR-8, which is kind of nice, but also something you just want to pay attention to, and make sure you don't record over top of something that you wanted to save, because you'll have to recall it manually. Let's go up to TR-record. TR-record up here. We're again seeing the pattern flashing through the 16th notes. But if we want to record a brand new pattern, I'm going to go back to pattern select actually, and I'll choose pattern 1 because I don't really need to keep it. So I've got my pattern select at number 1. I want to clear that and just make this an empty space to record a brand new drum beat. I'm going to hold clear and press the bank that I want to clear. And you can see that the lights are still flashing through. This is still playing through the 16th notes, but I've cleared them all, so there is no longer any drum beat here at all. If we go into TR-record, I can start selecting instruments. Let's start with the kick drum on the quarter notes, just a 4 on the floor sort of drum beat. Now I can add something. But say I don't want that there anymore, you just click it again and it goes away. So the lit up spots are where my kicks are going to be on this pattern. Let's add a snare on the alternate quarter, on the 3, 7, 11, and 15. So now we've got a little bit of a simple beat going here. And I'll just sort of randomize some things here, and let's just see what I can come up with. You can just sort of run your finger along there. So now we've got a rim shot on every 16th note. But maybe I decide later I only want it on every other 8th note. So let's just go through. Now we're starting to get a bit of a drum beat here. Let's do this 6 and 12. Get some crash cymbals here. Okay, but let's say I want to choose a different crash cymbal. I'm just going to go back into instrument, crash cymbal. I'm going to choose this one instead. Yeah, I like that sound better. And I'm just going to keep it right at the beginning of each bar. Go back to TR-record. And maybe I want to add a ride cymbal halfway through. There we go. A little bit of an accent there. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a beat going. Now here's the tempo over here. I'm at 120 beats per minute. And this value knob will just bring you up 1 beat per minute at a time. And you can hear the tempo accelerating as the numbers go up. This actually goes up to 300 beats per minute. Pretty fast. It goes down all the way to, I believe it's 40 beats per minute. Let's find out here. Yeah, 40 beats per minute. That's pretty slow. You'll see this flashing down here, this tap button, and it's just flashing at the beats per minute tempo of your beat. So if I want to just manually tap it, it will change to the tempo that I'm tapping. See here, for example, I'm at 162.1 beats. This 0.1 is a fine adjustment that you can make with this value knob that actually says fine. Let's slow this down a bit so you can hear. I'm at 90 beats per minute now. I could go up to 91 beats per minute. Maybe for some reason I could be following a sample is actually a good example. If I'm following a sample that's a little bit faster than 90 beats per minute, but not quite 91, you can make a fine adjustment here. And maybe the sample you're trying to align with is 90.7 beats per minute. Probably wasn't recorded to a click, so you're trying to match it up perfectly, and that's how you can do that. I'll just put that back to the 0. Let's just speed things up a little bit. 102, let's say. Next to the fine adjustment knob is a shuffle knob, so you can actually start to shuffle your beat. Get a bit more of a swing shuffle sound. You can hear it a bit better while it's slower. There, the shuffle's off when it's in the center, and you can sort of feel it rest into the center there. You can also do a reverse shuffle too, which is interesting. I don't use this one very often, but it's there. And yeah, you can change the level of shuffle. Maybe you want a slight shuffle, maybe you want a really hard shuffle. Somewhere in the middle is kind of nice, I think. That helps too when you're trying to match up samples and there's a bit of a swing in the sample. You don't have to do a straight 4 on the floor type beat.